Shalom, my name is Adam, and I welcome you to the parable of the vineyard. Every day, Yahuah is waking up a remnant, a group of people who are coming out of deceptions, realizing our walk is to consist of faith and obedience to His righteous commands. Each week, we read through and examine a portion of the Torah, allowing the Spirit of the Most High to guide, teach, and open our eyes and ears to the wondrous matters out of His law. Join us as we seek to be refined by His Word, preparing ourselves for the return of our King of Kings, being faithful and obedient, walking in His way, truth, and life. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Parable of the Vineyard YouTube live stream of our Torah portion readings. This is week 34, and we're in the book of Numbers. We're going to be reading Numbers 1:1 through 4:20. So, without any delay, let's start with a prayer and shofar blast and get right into it. Let's bow our hearts. Heavenly Father, Yahuah, Most High, we come before you in Yahusha's name. We bless, we praise you, we thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you for sending your Son that we may have life. Thank you for opening our eyes and ears to the righteous commands in your Torah. And we just bless you for the Shabbat, and thank you for allowing us to gather together. And may you give us understanding as we read through this so that we can better hearken to your word and be doers and not just hearers alone. In Yahusha's name, Amen and Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let's do shofar blast. What do you think? Okay, so before we proceed, I just want to make one thing clear, is that I am a student of the Word, and especially a student of the Torah. I think for a lot of us, we're new to this portion of our walk in walking His commandments. And, I know what I do here is a teaching type role, but really, especially when it comes to the Torah, I just want to make it clear that I'm a student, and I offer these as a group study, not saying that everything I have is right. But I treat this like if we were in my living room and we were reading the Torah portions, and I'm sharing with you my notes as I go through these studies. So, with that being said, I offer you to be study buddies with me, and let's crack open the book of Numbers and get started. So, we will be reading from the Sefer version and cross-referencing with other versions. And especially this year, we've been cross-referencing the Targums. Some of the chapters tonight we actually will read from the Targums. Chapter 2 and 4, I believe specifically, I wanted to read from the Targums. So, with that being said, Numbers 1:1, and here we're taking a census for Israel's warriors. And we know that what's happened before is going to happen again, but we'll get to that in a bit. And Yahuah spoke unto Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the assembly, on the first day of the second month, in the second year after they were come out of the land of Mitzrayim. So we had a year and a month pass so far. So this is the second year, second month. So about 13 months has passed from the time of the Exodus until now. So not a whole lot of time's passed. So all basically the end of the second half really of Exodus and all of Leviticus, a year and a month has happened. A year and a month of the 40 years has gone by so far, basically. Or we'll just say 13 months has gone by. Sorry. Numbers 1:2. Take you the sum of all the assembly of the children of Yisrael after their families, by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their polls, from 20 years old and upward, that are all that are able to go forth to war in Yisrael. And you and Aharon shall number them by their armies. I think somewhere else it says from 20 years old to 60, I think is the army age, just like the priests is 30 to 50, army is 20 to 60. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere else. And with you there shall be a man of every tribe, every one of the head of the house of their fathers. And these are the names of all the men that shall stand with you. Of the tribe of Reuben, Elitzur, the son of Shadur. Of Shimon, Shelemuel, the son of Tsurishadai. Of Yehuda, Nachshon, the son of Aminadab. Of Yisachar, Nathaniel, the son of Zuar. Of Zebulun, Eliab, the son of Chelon. Of the children of Yosef, of Ephraim, Elishama, the son of Amihud. Of Menashe, Gamaliel, the son of Pedashur. Of Binyamin, of Abidan, the son of Gidonai. Of Dan, Achiezer, the son of Amishadai. Of Asher, Pagiel, the son of Okran. Of Gad, Elisaph, the son of Deuel. Of Naphtali, Achira, the son of Enan. These were the renowned of the assembly, princes of their tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands in Yisrael. And we discussed this in the Torah portion, Jethro, that Yah is an Elohim of structure, order, rank. Even in the heavenlies, in the angelic, there is structure, there's order, there's hierarchy, those type of things. That is how things get done the right way, and it trickles into even modern day, like military. There's rank, there's rank established. But one thing we have to understand is that we talked, actually, if you're watching this live and you watched the Gospel of Matthew study we did, even though there is rank and there's structure and order, Yahusha came to set it straight that we're all on the same level. Like, we're not higher than the other. Even though we might have a position that puts us in leadership over people, we're no more important than the other person, because he's the head, we're the body. We're like one body fit together. He's the head of us, right? So it's him, then us, and we're all like this. That needs to be established. And a good leader thinks that way anyways. A good leader isn't like, y'all are just below me, you peons. Like, that's not a good leader. It's not going to work out. And Moshe and Aharon took these men which are expressed by their names, and they assembled, and all the assembly together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. As Yahuah commanded Moshe, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. And the children of Reuben, Yisrael's eldest son, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Reuben, were 46,500. And remember, this is just the males numbered. This is the males 20 to 60, or we even just say 20 upward. This isn't counting women, children, babies. So, the children of Shimon by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, that were numbered of them, according to the number of the names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Shimon, were 59,300. Of the children of Gad by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Gad, were 45,650. Of the children of Yehuda by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Yehuda, were 314,600. So this is 74,600. It's the greatest, the most of all the tribes. And of the children of Issachar by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Issachar, were 54,400. Of the children of Zebulun by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Zebulun, were 57,400. Of the children of Joseph, namely the children of Ephraim, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Ephraim, were 40,500. Of the children of Manasseh, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Manasseh, were 32,200. Now think about this, though. If the tribe of Joseph was not split, he would have had the most in his tribe, because he had 40,000 plus 32, right? So, well, actually, still Judah would have been just a little bit more. So, by about 2,000. So, of the children of Benjamin by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Remember, this whole thing is numbering for war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Benjamin, were 35,400. And of the children of Dan, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Dan, were 62,700. So 62,000, right? Of the children of Asher, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Asher, were 41,500. Of the children of Naphtali, through their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Naphtali, were 53,400. These are those that were numbered, by which Moshe and Aharon numbered, and the prince of Yashrael, being 12 men, each one was for the house of their fathers. So were all those that were numbered of the children of Yashrael by the house of their fathers, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war in Yashrael. Even all that were numbered were 600,000 and 3,550. So quite a bit. This is just males 20 and up. And we'll stop here actually for a second. So remember Ecclesiastes 1:9, the thing that has been is that which shall be. So what's happened before will happen again. And that which is done is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the sun. So basically, history repeats itself. And I wanted to share something with you. Revelation 7, and after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor any tree. And I saw another angel ascend from the east, having the seal of the living Elohim, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Elohim in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And it goes off to number of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. So here we have a numbering of the tribes. And, I think a lot of us are starting to understand that the 144,000 are numbered for war in the last days. So they're sealed, they're protected, and they go to war with Messiah. It's interesting because it follows the same pattern of coming out of Egypt, because you had the men numbered for war, but with them you had a great multitude. It's somewhere in, where is it? I should have had this prepared. I think it's Exodus 12. Is it 13 maybe? No, where is it? It's got to be 12 then. Yeah, here you go. Sorry, I went too fast. The people of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Sukkot, about 600,000 men on foot, besides women and children, and a mixed multitude went up with them, or a great multitude went up with them, very much livestock, such and such. So you had a pattern. Passover, you had the sealing, the protection, the escape, and then you had them numbered for war. And so here in Revelation 7, after the sealing, it says, after this, I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, with palms in their hands. And, what's interesting, it says about after this, a lot of people will say you have the sealing of the 144,000, and then later on, like years later, you have the great multitude. I'm here to say that what's interesting, it says, where it says after this, if you look at this word that's used, 473 times, it was used in the context of with. So with this, you had the mixed multitude. So I really believe it should read, with this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude. So you had a massive amount of people. Only the men were numbered for war, but the women, the children, maybe the elderly, babies, whoever maybe couldn't participate in war, was part of the great multitude. And so I think we have a strong connection here between the numbering in the wilderness for war and the numbering of the 144,000 for, once again, for war. All right, so Numbers 147. But the Levites, after the tribe of their fathers, were not numbered among them. For Yahuah had spoken unto Moshe, saying, only you shall not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Yasharel. But you shall appoint the Leviim over the tabernacle of the testimony, and over all the vessels thereof, and over all the things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle and all the vessels thereof, and they shall minister unto it, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle. Now, really quickly, a couple of things actually I forgot to mention about, before we get to verse 151, about this army. What's interesting is because here we have in Enoch 1, let's start at verse 8. Actually, it's verse 7. And the earth, this is about the coming judgment. The earth shall be wholly rent in sunder, and all that is upon the earth shall perish, and there shall be a judgment upon all men. But with the righteous he will make peace, and will protect the elect, and mercy shall be upon them, and they shall all belong to Elohim, and they shall all be prospered, and they shall all be blessed, and he will help them all. And light shall appear unto them, and he will make peace with them. And behold, he comes with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all and to destroy all the ungodly. So Yahusha comes with 10,000s. So what's interesting is, if he can't say, if these people right here are the 144,000, he couldn't have said he comes with hundreds of thousands of his, because they would have been like, over 200,000, because if you said hundreds of thousands, it would be 200,000 plus. So he comes with tens of thousands, which tens of thousands could be 144,000, to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness, which they have ungodly committed, and of all hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Now, what's interesting is we see in the Jude version, it says, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these things, saying, behold, the Adonai comes with 10,000s of his saints. The word used in Greek is for saints. What to do? What? To execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, and that they have ungodly committed, in all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So I do believe it is 10,000s, 144,000 of his saints is what I understand at this time. So just wanted to touch on that. So Numbers 151. And when the tabernacle sets forward, the Leviim shall take it down. And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Leviim shall set it up. And the stranger that comes nigh shall be put to death. And this includes the ark, which reminds me of a story that we get in Samuel, but Chronicles, I think, tells it a little better. 1 Chronicles 13, 6 through 14. And David went up and all Israel to Baalah, that is, to Kirjath Jearim, which belonged to Judah, to bring up thence the ark of Yahuah that dwells between the cherubims, whose name is called upon it. And they carried the ark of Elohim in a new cart out of the house of Abinadab, and Uzzah and Ahio drave the cart. And David and all Israel played before Elohim with all their might, and with singing, and with harps, and with psalteries, and with timbrels, and with cymbals, and with trumpets. And when they came to the threshing floor of Chidon, Uzzah put forth his hand to hold the ark, for the oxen stumbled. And the anger of Yahuah was kindled against Uzzah, and smote him, because he put his hand to the ark, and there he died before Elohim. And David was displeased, because Yahuah had made a breach upon Uzzah, wherefore that place is called Perez Uzzah to this day. And David was afraid of Elohim that day, saying, How shall I bring the ark of Elohim home to me? So David brought not the ark home to himself to the city of David, but carried it aside into the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. And the ark of Elohim remained with the family of Obed-Edom in his house 3 months, and Yahuah blessed the house of Obed-Edom all that he had. Now, skipping ahead a few chapters, 1 Chronicles 15, 1 through 13, and we get the explanation. And David made him a house in the city of David, and prepared a place for the ark of Elohim, and pitched for a tent. Then David said, None ought to carry the ark of Elohim but the Levites, for them has Yahuah chosen to carry the ark of Elohim, and to minister unto him forever. And David gathered all Israel together to Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of Yahuah into his place, which he had prepared for it. And David assembled the children of Aaron and the Levites. Let's see. Here we go. Verse 12, And he said unto them, You are the chief of the fathers of the Levites. Sanctify yourselves, both you and your brethren, that you may bring up the ark of Yahuah Eloheinu of Yisrael into the place that I have prepared for it. For because ye did it not at the first, Yahuah Elohim made a breach upon us, for that we sought him not after the due order. So, what's the point behind this? Is, Yahuah makes his rules, and he sticks by them. He's not like, I'm really pleased with David and all of them. They're moving the ark to its place, and they're singing before me. And even though I made a rule, don't touch it, lest you die. I'm just gonna let Uzzah slip on this one, and I'm just gonna let it slide. That's not how he is. It's like, right? And so David was like, in Samuel, it didn't get the explanation, but obviously, someone had, counseled him and be like, hey, it says it right here, right? This talks about the tabernacle. I think specifically it says somewhere else about the ark, but it says, the Levites shall set it up, and the stranger that comes nigh, so anyone that's not a Levite comes nigh, shall be put to death. So Yah sticks by his, he sticks by his decrees. And this is interesting. On this verse 151, it says in the Targums, and when actually, let's just look at it here. Yeah, here we go. This is verse 51. They shall carry the tabernacle and all its vessels, right, to do service to it, and round about the tabernacle shall they dwell. And when the tabernacle is to go forward, the Levites shall take it apart, and when the tabernacle is to be stationary, the Levites are to uprear it. The common person who draws near will be slain by a flaming fire from before Yahuah. Period. And the children of Yisrael shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard throughout their hosts. But the Leviim shall pitch round about the tabernacle of the testimony, that there be no wrath upon the assembly of the children of Yisrael. And the Leviim shall guard the watch of the tabernacle of the testimony. And the children of Yisrael did according to all that Yahuah commanded Moshe, and so did they. Okay. Now, for chapter 2, we are going to read actually the Targum version. It's basically the same thing, but the Targum gives a few little extra insights here, and I'm going to read it. So here we are. The Aramaic Targum is going to read chapter 2. Excuse me. And Yahuah spoke with Moshe and with Aharon, saying, Every man of Bnai Israel, the sons of Israel, shall encamp by his standard, and by the ensign which is signified upon the standards of their father's house, over against the tabernacle of ordinance shall they encamp round about. The length of the camp of Israel shall be 12 miles. This is interesting. This is some numbers we don't get anywhere else. The length of the camp of Israel shall be 12 miles, and its breadth 12 miles. So think about that for a second. And this really puts perspective, like when Balak, called Balaam, he's like, look at them. The camp is 12 miles long by 12 miles. So it's 12 miles by 12 miles by 12 miles, right? So, I mean, this is 12 miles squared. That's a big, big area. So the length of the camp of Israel shall be 12 miles, and its breadth 12 miles. And they who encamp eastward to the sunrise shall be of the standard of the camp of Yehudah by their hosts, spreading over 4 miles. And his standard shall be of silk of 3 colors, corresponding with of those of the precious stones which are in the breastplate, sardius, topaz, and carbuncle. Which is interesting because other information tells us the carbuncle was for Levi. So little confused here, but we'll keep going anyways. And upon it shall be expressed and set forth the names of the 3 tribes of Yehudah, Issachar, and Zebulun. And in the midst it shall be written, Arise, O Aaron, O Yahuah, and let your enemies be scattered, and thine adversaries be driven away before you. And upon it shall be set forth the figure of a young lion. And the rabbah of Benai Yehudah shall be Nechshon bar Aminadab, son of Aminadab, and the sum of the hosts of that tribe was 74,600. And they who encamp next to him shall be of the tribe of Issachar, and the head appointed over the host of Benai Issachar, Nathaniel bar Zuar, and the sum of the host of the tribe 54,400. The tribe of Zebulun, the head Eliab bar Chelon, the number 57,400. All the number ones of the camp of Yehudah, 186,400 by their hosts. They shall go forward in the front. And let's see. We'll take a look at what these look like. So what we just saw right here was, so this is Reuben. Okay, so this is Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, right? So this is facing the east, right here. So this is what we're getting ready to look at. So they're saying this is 12 miles, right? 12 miles by 12 miles is how big this is supposed to be, 12 miles. By the standard of the camp of Reuben, they shall encamp southward by their hosts, spreading over 4 miles. And his standard shall be of silk of 3 colors, corresponding with of those of the precious stones that are in the breastplate, as morad, sapphire, and adamant. And on it shall be expressed and set forth the names of the 3 tribes of Reuben, Shimeon, Gad. And in the midst of it will be written, Hear, Israel, Yahuah Elohiym is one. And upon it shall be set forth the figure of a stag. Some would have thought there should have been upon it the figure of a young ox, but Moshe the prophet altered it that the sin of the calf might not be remembered against them. I don't know what to take about that. Again, when we read the Targums, I don't think it's perfect, but I think there's a lot of interesting things that we can glean from it. And the head set over the host of the tribe of Reuben was Elizur bar Shadur. And his host and the number of his tribe were 59,300. The tribe of Gad, the head set over the host of the tribe of Benai Gad was Elijasaph bar Dehul. And his host and the number of his tribe 45,600. All the sum of the numbered ones of the camp of Reuben 151,450 by their hosts, and they went forward secondly. But the tabernacle shall go with the host of the Levites in the midst of their host, and their camp shall spread over 4 miles. In the midst they are to be, as they encamp, they shall go, every man going in his appointed place by their standard. So this is what we just saw with Reuben, Simeon, and Gad, right? So they're over here. This is south. The camp of Ephraim, by the standard of their host, shall pitch on the west. Their camp spreadeth over 4 miles, and their standard is of silk of 3 colors, corresponding with the 3 precious stones in the breastplate, ligure, agate, and amethyst. And upon it expressed and set forth the names of the 3 tribes, Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin, having written in the midst, and the cloud of Yahuah was over them in the going forward of the host. And upon it was set forth the figure of a young man, and the head set over the tribe of Ephraim, Elishama bar Amihud, and the sum of his host 40,500. And next to him were the tribe of Manasseh, and the head Gamaliel bar Pedashur, their number 32,200. Of the tribe of Benjamin, the head was Abidan bar Gideoni, And the number of his hosts, 35,400. The sum of the camp of Ephraim was 108,100, and they went forward thirdly. Right, so here. The standard of the camp of Dan shall be to the north with their hosts, and the space of their camp shall spread over 4 miles. His standard shall be of silk of 3 colors, corresponding to with the stones in the breastplate, chrysolite, beryl, and jasper. In it shall be expressed and set forth the names of the 3 tribes, Dan, Naphtali, and Asher. And upon it shall be expressed, and in his encampment shall he say, Return, O Yahuah, and dwell in the glory in the midst of the myriads of Israel. And upon it shall also be set forth the figure of a basilisk serpent. That's interesting. The head set over the host of Dan was Achiezer bar Amishadai, and the number of his tribes 62,700. They who encamp next to him shall be the tribe of Asher. The head was Pagihel bar Achron, and the numbers 41,500. Of the tribe of Naphtali, the head Achira bar Inan, and the numbers 53,400. The sum of the host of Dan was 157,600, and these went forward last with their ensigns. This is the amount of the numbers of the sons of Israel, Bnai Israel, according to the house of their fathers. All the sums of the camps by their hosts were 603,550. But the Levites were not numbered amongst the sons of Yisrael, as Yahuah commanded Moshe. And the sons of Yisrael did according to all that Yahuah commanded Moshe, so did they encamp by their standards, and so they went forward, every man with his family, by the house of his fathers. So again, this is kind of an idea of what we're looking at. So you got the Levites here in the middle, and yeah. So supposedly it's saying 4 miles, 4 miles, 4 miles would be 12. 4 miles, 4 miles, 4 miles, roughly, is what it's looking like. So what's interesting, so we'll skip here, we'll get to chapter 3. So what's interesting is we actually have an origin of where this came from. And I want to read it for you. It's in the book of Jasher, chapter 56. And Yaakov lived in the land of Egypt 17 years, and the days of Yaakov and the years of his life were 147 years. At that time, Yaakov was attacked with that illness of which he died, and he sent and called for his son Yosef from Egypt, and Yosef and his son came from Egypt, and Yosef came unto his father. And Yaakov said unto Yosef and unto his sons, Behold, I die, and the Elohim of your ancestors will visit you, and will bring you back to the land, which Yahuah sware to give unto you and unto your children after you. Now therefore, when I am dead, bury me in the cave which is in Machpelah, in Hebron, in the land of Canaan, near my ancestors. And Yaakov made his sons to swear to bury him in Machpelah, in Hebron, and his sons swore unto him concerning this thing. And he commanded them, saying, Serve Yahuah your Elohim, for he who delivered your fathers will also deliver you from all trouble. And Yaakov said, Call all your children unto me. And all the children of Yaakov's sons came and sat before him. And Yaakov blessed them. And he said unto them, Yahuah Elohim of your fathers shall grant you 1,000 times as much and bless you. And may he give you the blessing of your father Abraham, and the blessing. And all the children of Yaakov's sons went forth on that day after he had blessed them. And on the next day Yaakov again called for his sons, and they all assembled, and came to him and sat before him. And Yaakov on that day blessed his sons before his death. Each man did he bless according to his blessing. Behold, it is written in the book of the Torah of Yahuah appertaining to Yisrael. And Yaakov said unto Yehudah, I know, my son, that thou art a mighty man for thy brethren. Reign over them, and thy sons shall reign over their sons forever. Only teach thy sons the bow and all the weapons of war, in order that they might fight the battles of their brothers, who will rule over his enemies. And we know that David quoted this in 2 Samuel. You can look it up for yourself. David quotes Jasher right here. Yashar. And Yaakov again commanded his sons on that day, saying, Behold, I shall be this day gathered unto my people. Carry me up from Egypt, and bury me in the cave of Machpelah, as I have commanded you. Howbeit, take heed, I pray to you, that none of your sons carry me, only yourselves. So he's talking about his 12 sons. And this, and now here's the whole point. And this is the manner you shall carry me. When you carry my body to go with it to the land of Canaan to bury me, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun shall carry my bier, that's like a casket, at the eastern side. Judah, Issachar, Zebulun. Judah, Issachar, Zebulun. Reuben, Simeon, and Gad at the south. Reuben, Simeon, Gad at the south. Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin at the west. Ephraim, Manasseh, Benjamin at the west. Dan, Asher, and Naphtali at the north. Dan, Asher, Naphtali at the north. Let not Levi carry with you, for he and his sons will carry the ark of the covenant of Yahuah with the Israelites in the camp. Right? So he's prophesying here. This is not like, oh, this book must have been written way later. He's prophesying. Jacob is a prophet. Neither let Joseph my son carry, for as a king, so let his glory be. Howbeit, Ephraim and Manasseh shall be in their stead. And thus you shall do unto me when you carry me away. Do not neglect any of all the things I command you, and it shall come to pass when you do this unto me, that Yahuah will remember you favorably and your children after you forever. So, long story short, this is where we get it. So the carrying of the body of Israel, this is the order that was done, and that's where it came from, the book of Yashar. Okay, so here we are, chapter 3 of the book of Numbers. These also are the generations of Aaron and Moshe in the day that Yahuah spoke with Moshe in Mount Sinai. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron: Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron the priest, which were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest's office. And Nadab and Abihu died before Yahuah, when they offered strange fire before Yahuah in the wilderness of Sinai, and they had no children. And Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron their father. And Yahuah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Bring the tribe of Levi near, and present them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister unto him. And they shall guard his watch, and the watch of the whole assembly before the tabernacle of the assembly, to do the service of the tabernacle. And they shall guard all the instruments of the tabernacle of the assembly, and the charge of the children of Yisrael to do the service of the tabernacle. And you shall give the Leviim unto Aaron and to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Yisrael. And you shall appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall guard their priest's office. And the stranger that comes nigh shall be put to death. And Yahuah spoke unto Moshe, saying, And I, behold, I have taken the Leviim from among all the children of Yisrael, and set of all the firstborn that opens the womb among the children of Yisrael. Therefore the Leviim shall be mine. Because all the firstborn are mine, for on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Yisrael, both man and beast. Mine shall they be. I am Yahuah. And Yahuah spoke unto Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, Number the children of Levi after the house of their fathers by their families, every male from a month old and upward shall you number them. And Moshe numbered them according to the word of Yahuah as he was commanded. So it's interesting. Moshe, here we see a little glimpse of Yahusha, our Messiah. This has been, again, the biggest thing that we've seen in the Targums is that the term, the word of Yahuah, we can see as a living being. It's not just talking about like a scroll, like what we call, when we pick up our scriptures, and we call it, the word, there wasn't a book next to Moshe saying, hey, go number all the people this way and this way, and then now the number of the Levites. It was actually a living being who we know the word of Yahuah to be Messiah Yahusha. So Moshe numbered them according to the word of Yahuah as he was commanded, right by the word of Yahuah. And these are the sons of Levi by their names, Gershon and Kohath and Merari. And these are the names of the sons of Gershon by their families, Livni and Shimei. And the sons of Kohath by their families, Amram and Yitzchar and Hebron and Uzziel. And the sons of Merari by their families, Machli and Mushai. These are the families of the Leviim according to the house of their fathers. Of Gershon was the family of the Levinim. The family of the Shimeim, these are the families of the Gershonim. Those that were numbered of them, according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward, even those that were numbered of them were 7,500. The families of the Gershonim shall pitch behind the tabernacle westward. And the chief of the house of the father of the Gershonim shall be Elisaphat, the son of Lael. And the charge of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the assembly shall be the tabernacle, and the tent, the covering thereof, the hanging of the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and the hangings of the court, and the curtain for the door of the court which is by the tabernacle, and by the altar round about, and the cords of it for all the service thereof. And of Kohath was the family of the Amramim, and the family of the Yitzcharim, and the family of the Chevronim, and the family of the Uzzialim. These are the families of the Kohathim. And the number of all the males from a month old and upward were 8,600, guarding the watch of the sanctuary. The families of the sons of Kohath shall pitch on the east side of the tabernacle southward. So here you can see here number 1. This is Moshe, Aharon, and sons. So this is right here. The families of the sons of Kohath shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle southward. And, so Kohath, right? So we have Kohath, number 2, southward, east, south, north, west. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of the Kohathanim shall be Elishaphan, the son of Uzziel, and their charge shall be the ark. The table, and the menorah, the 7-branch candlestick, and the altars, and the vessels of the sanctuary, wherewith they minister, and the hangings, and all the service thereof. And Eleazar, the son of Aharon, the priest, shall be chief over the chief of the Leviim, and have the oversight of them that guard the watch of the sanctuary. Of Merari was the family of the Machilim, and the family of the Mushim. These are the families of Merari. And those that were numbered of them, according to the number of all the males, from a month old and upward, were 6,200. And the chief of the house of the father of the families of Merari was Tsuriel, the son of Avihail. These shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle northward. And under the custody and charge of the sons of Merari shall be the boards of the tabernacle, and the bars thereof, and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, and all the vessels thereof, and all that serves thereto. And the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and all their cords, but those that encamp before the tabernacle toward the east, even before the tabernacle of the assembly eastward, shall be Moshe and Aharon and his sons, guarding the watch of the sanctuary for the watch of the children of Yisrael, and the stranger that comes nigh shall be put to death. And all that were numbered of the Leviim, which Moshe and Aharon numbered at the commandment of Yahuah, throughout their families, all the males from a month old and upward were 22,000. And Yahuah said unto Moshe, number all the firstborn of the males of the children of Yisrael from a month old and upward, and take the number of their names. And you shall take the Leviim for me, I am Yahuah, instead of all the firstborn among the children of Yisrael. And the cattle of the Leviim instead of all the firstlings among the cattle of the children of Yisrael. And Moshe numbered, as Yahuah commanded him, all the firstborn among the children of Yisrael. And all the firstborn males by the number of their names from a month old and upward, of those that were numbered of them, were 22,213. So you got a difference of 273. So basically, again, what I was saying here is number all the firstborn males of all the children of Yisrael versus the total number of all the Levites. And it's really interesting that there was only a difference of 273. So the Levites were 22,000, and all the firstborn were 22,273. And Yahuah spoke unto Moshe, saying, take the Leviim instead of all the firstborn among the children of Yisrael, and the cattle of the Leviim instead of their cattle, and the Leviim shall be mine. I am Yahuah. And for those that are to be redeemed of the 213, so 273 of the firstborn of the children of Yisrael, which are more than the Leviim, you shall even take 5 shekels apiece by the pole after the shekel of the sanctuary, and you shall take them. The shekel is 20 gerahs. And you shall give them money, wherewith the odd number of them is to be redeemed unto Aharon and his sons. And Moshe took the redemption money of them that were over and above them that were redeemed by the Leviim, of the firstborn of the children of Yisrael took the money 1,365 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. Okay. And Moshe gave the sum of them that were redeemed unto Aharon and to his sons according to the word of Yahuah, as Yahuah commanded Moshe. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to finish up chapter 4, 4 till verse 20 in the Targums. So we're going to scoot down here, and here we are, chapter 4. And we're just going to finish up this Torah portion. And Yahuah spake with Moshe, saying, Take the account of the sons of Kohath from among the sons of Levi, from 30 years and upward to the 50 years. Everyone who comes by the band to do the work in the tabernacle of ordinance. This is the service of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of ordinance. So, again, as I was saying earlier, that the Levites would serve from 30 to 50. With the most holy things. But whenever the camp is to be removed, Aharon and his sons shall enter and unloose the veil that is spread and cover up the ark of the testimony and put over it the covering of the hyacinth skin and overspread it with a wrapper of twined work and inset its staves. And over the table of the presence of the bread they shall spread a wrapper of purple and set it upon the vials and the spoons and the vases and the libation cups. But the bread shall be upon it forevermore. And they shall spread upon it a wrapper of scarlet, and cover it with a covering of hyacinth skin, and inset its staves. And they shall take a purple wrapper, and cover the candelabrum that lighteth, and its lamps, its tongs, its snuff dishes, and all the vessels of service by which they attend it. And they shall put it and all its vessels in a covering of hyacinth skin, and place it upon a rest. And upon the golden altar they shall spread a purple vest, and cover it with a covering of hyacinth skin, and inset its staves. And they shall take all the vessels of the service with which they shall minister in the sanctuary, and wrap them in a covering of hyacinth skins, and place it upon a beam. And they shall remove the cinders from the altar, and overspread it with a covering of crimson, and put it upon all its vessels with which it served, the cinder holders, the flesh hooks, the prongs, and basins, even all the vessels of the altar, and spread upon it a covering of hyacinth skin, and inset its staves. And after Aharon and his sons have completed to cover the sanctuary, and all the vessels thereof, when the camp is to go forward, then the sons of Kohath may enter in to carry, but they shall not touch any holy thing, lest they die by the flaming fire. This is the burden of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of ordinance, and that delivered to Eleazar bar Aharon the priest shall be the oil for the light, the aromatic incense, the perpetual mincha offering, the oil of anointing, and the custody of all the tabernacle, and whatever is in the sanctuary and its vessels. And Yahuah spake with Moshe, saying, You shall not give occasion for the tribe of the family of Kohath to perish among the Levites, but this appointment make you for them, that they may live the life of the just, and die not by the flaming fire. They shall turn away their eyes from the most holy place at the time they approach thither. Aharon and his sons shall enter, and appoint them man by man to do his service and his burden, but they shall not go in to gaze. When the priests go in to cover the vessels of the sanctuary, that they die not by the flaming fire. And that's actually it. So that is the end of the Torah portion. And so there's so now we're in the book of Numbers, week 1. The book of Numbers is quite the adventure, so I look forward to getting into this again this year with you. And next week I believe we'll be doing Nassau, which will actually mark the 3rd year of Torah portions, because we actually started doing Torah portions 2 years ago with Nassau. So this will mark the 3rd time we go around to do these portions. So my hope is that every year that we do these, we just glean more and more, and the Most High just reveal more and more to us, so we can just continue to be set apart and really just walk in His way that He's commanded for us. So. With that, brothers and sisters, we're going to end here, and we're going to end with a couple of songs. But first, let's pray. In light of Matthew chapter 6, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our transgressions as we forgive those that transgress against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. I pray that your Shabbat continues to be a blessing, and we're going to end with the Aaronic blessing and one of the songs. So Shabbat Shalom to you, and we'll see you next week. Yahuah willing, of course.
יברכך יחוה וישמרך יאר יחוה פניו לך וחונקה יישא יחוה פניו לך לך שלום יישא יחוה פניו לך ויעשה לך שלום ויעשה לך שלום ויעשה לך שלום.
Yahuah bless you and keep you. Yahuah make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yahuah lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Yahuah make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yahuah lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. The dead will stand before his throne. What have they done with what they're shown? The wicked and the righteous men will be requited in the end. It went so fast, this blink of time, this fading flower we call our lives. Our lives. We had the chance to do what's right. Did we choose death, or was it life? The one above seeks all the land to find those that will serve him. If only we had done what's right and used this gift that he's called right, but we chose sin and closed our eyes. The kings of earth who lost their chance to use this life for what is best will beat their chest and shout out loud, we see our gain is worthless now. The master then called all the meek to the front to reward them each for what they had all done. The voice will call from off the throne. You are the servants I have chose. When did we feed you and when did we clothe you and when did we give you a place to just rest? Rags and our riches we left in the ditches. We thought that we failed you when put to the test. We just did what you asked, but how do we pass? A servant no greater than their task. When did we feed you and when did we clothe you and when did we give you a place to just rest? Rags and our riches we left in the ditches. We thought that we failed you and put to the test. They heard the voice from the throne. Those who obey me I will know. So listen closely to my words. It's those below you that you serve. What you did to the least of these, you have now done unto your King. When did we feed you and when did we clothe you and when did we give you a place to just rest? Rags and our riches we left in the ditches. We thought that we failed you and put to the test. We just did what you asked, but how do we pass? A servant's no greater than their task. They heard the voice from the throne. Those who obey me I will know. So do not chase the worthless things. Obey his word to keep your way, so that you will increase your